this worksheet is all about noticing patterns. So we've already talked a little bit about negative exponents, but this is just a little extension. So the first thing I'm going to notice is a pattern in this column. So it looks like we're going 2, 1, 0, so next would come negative 1. And if we go up this way, 0, 1, 2, so this would be 3. Now, we can check this in the calculator. 10 raised to the third power is 1,000. 10 raised to the second power is 100. 10 to the first power is just 10. This one, let's follow the pattern here to see if we can figure this out. So this is 1,000, 100, 10, 1, 1 over 10. So it looks like we're dividing by 10 each time. Divide by 10. 1,000 divided by 10 is 100. 100 divided by 10 is 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 1 divided by 10 is what? So that would be 1 over 100. And you can check that in your calculator. And then if we divide this by 10, we would get this. So here we must be dividing by A every time. And here we must be dividing by X every time. So let's do the same thing. Let's follow the pattern. 3, 2, 1, so this must be 0. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And we'll follow the pattern here. A squared. A divided by A is 1. 1 divided by A is 1 over A. And then if we divide by A again, we get 1 over A squared. So notice there's a correlation in these negative exponents. 10 to the negative 1 is 1 over 10 to the first. 10 to the negative 2 is 1 over 10 squared. The same way here, A to the negative 2 is 1 over A squared. So it looks like this negative exponent brings that exponent to the denominator and makes it positive. So let's try that on this last one. So x cubed is just x cubed. X squared is just x squared. X to the first is x. X to the 0, if we follow the pattern, divide by x, x divided by x is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. X to the negative 1 would be 1 over x to the first. X to the negative 2 would be 1 over x squared. And x to the negative 3 would be 1 over x to the third. So, some things that we notice are you're dividing by the base on this side each time. And the main thing that I want you to notice is that when you have a negative exponent, it brings, if you bring the base to the denominator, it makes the exponent positive. So maybe we could say, if you have a negative exponent, and we should say you can. You can put the base in the denominator and the exponent becomes positive. The other thing I noticed is if we look all the way across where something is to the 0 power, we have 10 to the 0 is 1, a to the 0 is 1, x to the 0 is 1. And it's because you're dividing by the base each time. So when you do something divided by itself, you always get 1. So anything to the 0 power is always 1. Okay, and then this last part, if x equals negative 3, what is the value of x to the negative 2? So if I know what x is, I can substitute negative 3 in for x. So I would have negative 3 to the negative 2. I substituted in with parentheses. So I can take this negative 3 and I can put it in the denominator and make my exponent positive. Now negative 3 squared, if I do my expansion rule, that would be negative 3 times itself. You would write it twice because it's to the second power. And then we have a negative times a negative, so we get 1 over positive 9. Okay?